Hello, everyone, and welcome back to ParcelPal's channel. We're sitting here once again with Rich, who on the last video, we got to know a lot about his own past and kind of his story with getting involved with ParcelPal, but now we wanted to dive deeper into the company itself. First off, Rich, how is your day going so far?
Very good so far. Can't complain. Just working on trying to get a few deals closed and just a bunch of operational things. The life of a CEO. You?
Yeah.
Everything good in your end?
Yeah, everything's doing pretty great. So kind of just diving in here, let's say you and
Sure.
I are in an elevator. We have 50 floors, and I'm asking you, Rich, tell me about your business. Well, how would you give it to me succinctly?
Yeah, we're a business to business courier service that allows us to be able to do our focus is same day and next day deliveries. So that's where our bread and butter is. We focus on the customer service and the technology aspect, the human element of it. That's really where our bread and butter is.
Okay. All right. So going a little bit deeper, like you say, business to business, is there any specific industries that you work with best or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, the way last mile is kind of a tricky beast. And I've mentioned, I think, in past interviews that we focused on really 4 or 5 industries because my whole goal was if we're going to do this, let's do this right and prove the model works. So
Mhm.
we've really focused pharmaceuticals, retail, in terms of food delivery being like meal kits, not food as in before we used to do food from restaurants and that kind of stuff. Meal
Mhm.
kits, we're looking at hardware stores, things like that are very simple for us to do and very easy and very scalable. I believe where our real business growth is going to come is the medical side, and that's just because that's been obviously with COVID. There's been a different way, different distribution emphasis on how prescriptions are administered, and I believe that's a really massive area. Plus, the margins are beautiful in that area. I
Mhm.
mean, they have really great margins in that
Good.
side for us as well.
Yeah. So the way the world seems to be going is the quicker the better when it comes to any sort of delivery, right? So you're kind of playing perfectly into that model and taking part
Absolutely.
and really taking a chunk of it for yourselves, which is a really quality move. Kind of getting a little bit different here.
hmm
Do you guys have any real competitors in this space where you guys are a private company handling multiple contracts like this?
Yeah, I mean, well, the big thing I'd say, a lot of companies try to do it themselves, and really our approach when we go to companies, we look at ourselves as an extension of the companies because many companies think they can do it themselves, and it's costly. They don't have the expertise in it, um, and that. So that's really where we come in. There, Pure Later, companies like that will do it. Now, I don't know if you've seen it, at least in the States, companies like Uber now are starting to move into the B2B space because they figure B2C is not as profitable as well. So it's a good thing. I mean, we've been ahead of the curve on this as well. So that's really our main competitors out there, but really our focus is on the customer service aspect and kind of we're more the small and medium sized business. That's really where our focus is going to be, not the massive customers as
Mhm.
well. So my whole thing is if we can focus on the niche, do it well, and work with companies as they scale, that's really where we're going to grow the
Okay.
company as well. So I like companies that have multi-site locations. If you look at some of the customers that we've signed, i.e., like the Bay Shores, CareX's, they are decent sized companies with multiple presence in large provinces and also cities. And that's really where we're going to grow, as opposed to finding one small one that's going to open new ones to different areas.
Yeah, it's a really interesting business model, targeting ones and then kind of growing with them. And going off what you said, often you see businesses moving to third parties when it comes to helping
hmm
delivery or providing some service, right? Because when it's in house, it can easily fall apart should that person
hmm
handling it leave. You go to a third party, and you know it's going to be there and provided as a service, which is significantly easier for the person needing something delivered or so on.
Yeah. And the issue with that, many times at companies that try to do it, the issue is, and with some, like for instance, prescription delivery, you have cold chain compliance that's involved. So some certain temperatures, like for instance, eye drops might be have to be refrigerated. Certain things. If
Mm.
companies don't have a the expertise in that or the experience, you're going to have shrinkage, which is just it's a fancy term for basically waste
Yeah.
in there. So that's what you don't want to have
Yeah, that
as
makes
well.
sense.
So part of it is we can do it better. My whole thing is just because I watched a YouTube video on how to change oil doesn't mean I should go and do that for my car, right? It's yeah.
unless it's an old 90s car, then it's really not too hard. but
Exactly. Yeah.
but yeah, technology is moving, and pretty much everywhere is becoming specialized in
Hmm.
almost any industry. And it's important to rely on the specializations to help with your weaknesses, as opposed to trying to, I guess, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and just do it yourself, because you're not going to get the outcome you want versus getting a
Absolutely.
specialist, a professional to actually handle that. So then, Rich, I would then from here inquire, how are things going with the business so far?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, one of the things I want to state, and I've mentioned numerous times, is it takes a while to get this up and running. We just made the switch about what 7, 8 months ago to this space. It took us a while. We're still in the midst of hiring new people on the operations team. We implemented a software program recently, so we went through a lot of internal changes. So it takes a little bit longer. It takes anywhere from about 6 to 10 months to really get things rolling on some of these new contracts. It's not one of those where it just goes overnight. But overall, things are better from the business standpoint. Morale is great. The company's doing better. Our balance sheet's been stronger. We're now in the midst of hiring a new some new people in on the biz dev side. We really didn't have that, so the biz dev was done really between me and one of the people inside the company. So that's why things have been a little slower in the biz dev side that people may have wanted to see, but also there was a lot of cleanup that has went on over the past couple of months, which we had to do kind of after the audit. So, um, if there's a question which I know has been asked as to how come there's been a lot of news releases lately, is because we're trying to do some internal cleanup. A lot of it, since I've been with the company for the past 15 months, has been trying to do 3 or 4 things at the same time. Getting the audit, bringing new people in, shifting the business strategy, raising money, doing that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think really the strength of it is you're going to see a lot of growth in the back half of the year. I think I look forward to getting some more contracts signed here. You know, I'd say probably the back half of July and on. I think it's going to really see a lot of scaling up as well, and we're really going to start to expand, I believe, then.
When it comes to businesses, when it comes to when you're looking at a company and so on, and it isn't investment advice to anybody, it's just my own personal thoughts. The growth phase is often where a lot of opportunity is hidden, right? So
Absolutely.
so often businesses of every size, you have kind
Hmm.
of a re-strategize, re-aim, put everything together, get things in line, and then execute.
Yeah.
So typically getting there and noticing businesses before they're executing is the way to go. And you typically
Hmm.
do that by watching the leadership and watching the news releases coming out. So Rich, thank you for coming
Absolutely.
on. Do you have anything else you want to add about the business before we go?
No, I mean, I appreciate the patience that everyone's had in terms of that. I'm thankful to the people who are new investors. I'm thankful to the people who have been existing investors, and we're in a great space. I advise people to be patient. Like I said, sometimes it's not for everybody, but we put everything, and me personally, I poured everything I can into this, and we're continuing to grow. We've made it this far, and I didn't work this hard just to get this far as well.
Well said,
So,
Rich.
yeah,
Well, thank you for coming on, and thank you everyone for watching. You have any question for Rich, let us know. Also, don't forget to watch that first video diving deeper into him. And Rich, you have a wonderful day.
appreciate it. Cheers. Thank you too.